hope you've enjoyed all my adventures in Indonesia. However, I am back in Japan now, and to kick things off again here, I wanted to visit a shop that I've shot at a couple of times. And the first time was probably back 10 years ago when I came here with Larry. And I'm talking about N-Style Customs. So we are at their shop here in Gunma. This is Nagahama-san's famous body shop. They are basically involved in building up some of the coolest grassroots drift cars that we've come across at tracks like Mobara and Nikko and Fuji Short. So basically kind of involved in getting that look right for his customers. That's what Nagahama-san does here at N-Style. He's obviously into drifting himself. He's been drifting for over 20 years. He's behind some of the coolest cars that we've shot at Speedhunters. We are just outside Tatebayashi in Gunma, about 2 hours north of Tokyo. Not too far away from Tochigi, where Motegi's twin ring Motegi racetrack is, and of course Nikko circuit. And because of that, obviously most of his customers are into drifting. But not only, I mean, there's a lot of people that build cars for circuit or just for daily driving, including some of Nagahama's cars, personal cars, that we'll kind of have a look at. And then hopefully we get to take out one of his coolest cars, at least in my opinion. So we'll get to that right now. So before we progress with the video any further, I would just like to highlight the fact that we're getting really close to the 100,000 subscriber mark. You know, a lot of people that do watch our content aren't subscribed, and it really does help us a lot to get to our goals here and creating content from Japan. So if you're not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button underneath. It really helps us get all the content out to you.
何年前？俺が25の時だから26、23年ぐらい。
わあ、結構長いね。すごい。なんかベテランね。
Yeah.
Alright, so to start off the video, I'm going to go right at the back of the shop, which is kind of the front, and say hello to Nagahama-san's dog here, nice Shiba Inu. And the reason I want to come here is because there's a couple of cars parked up front that you can see from the road. A nice Laurel here. For some reason there's a Chevy Impala wagon. Not sure what this is about, but it's the wide body JZA80 Supra that I wanted to show you guys. So we'll just start talking about all of Nagahama-san's personal drift cars, starting off with his favorite. This is his Z20 Soarer, currently running an additional muffler system here because it is very loud, and when he moves it, he doesn't want to disturb the neighbors, obviously. ダメ? He said don't shoot. Silent muffler. And this is his favorite car. He loves drifting this at tracks like Nikko. It's been his drift setup. Oh yeah, please, onegaishimasu. He's gonna turn it on for us so we can get to hear this thing.
一番好きソアラ。
ソーラ。
ソアラ。
スープラじゃない。
スープラはやっぱソアラかな。18歳で初めて買ったのがやっぱり20ソアラだったから。
Oh, it actually sounds really quiet. めっちゃ静かじゃん。Okay, that's more like it. And as we listen to his Soarer in action, another cool customer car has just arrived, one that we've shot before. Let's see if he reverses in. Oh yeah. Nice. Arigatou gozaimasu. Right, I'm gonna go and chase down the other car that's just pulled up. So this is an RB26 swapped Nissan Sima, which is definitely one of the shop's demo cars because the owner does take it to so many shows. And every time I see it, it's just a little bit different. Now it's running new Meister wheels. So literally when I arrived, Nagahama-san called him, and he lives like 10 minutes away, and he's like, can you bring the car over? Dino's just arrived. And he has, because this is Gunma and people are super cool. So these are the new Meisters that the car is riding on. Super aggressive fitment. All right, so he's gonna move it into the main shop area. It's very quiet for a heavily modified RB26. And as you can see, all the fender work, it kind of basically takes Nagahama-san back to his old days of building VIP cars and getting that fender flare just right across the rear door. All metal work, of course, no FRP over fenders here. And these Meister L1s, I think they're called, look really sick. It almost gives the car like a NASCAR look, if that makes any sense. Maybe it doesn't. 23年前からずっとドリフトの車作る？
もともとビップカーだったり、まあ旧車だったりドリフトだったり、まあいっぱいやってますね。
20年前は何違かった？
ビップ人気で、でもビップでもやっぱりタービンくっつけてマニュアルにしてっていうやっぱり子たちが来てたですね。
じゃあチューニングはメインね。
チューニングメインじゃないです。ボディ加工。
チューニングは別の店。
チューニングは仲間のとこに出して。
ドリフトはいつ始まった？
ドリフトは22ぐらいで始めて、24ぐらいでやめて、でまた31歳32歳ぐらいの時に遊びで始めて。
じゃあ今遊びだけね。
もう遊びだけもう本当に。
すごい好きでしょ。
はい。
And as the Sima finishes up parking next to the Z Cabrio, this is the Century, Nagahama-san's car that we actually saw back at Daikoku months ago on another video. We promised him we would be coming here to the shop, and we did. And it just goes to show that, you know, what these guys do is basically help keep drifting alive. Not only do they cater to their own cars, but they always look after their customer cars that they built years back. And you know, as you drift, things happen. You gotta kind of fix things, maybe progress, take advantage of the bigger shunts, and kind of like go for new looks. And it's shops like these out here where, you know, drifting is still very much alive and well. It's where drifting continues to progress and transition into new styles as the guys that actually drift continue to get better. Because if you've seen some of the footage at Gunsai or Nikko that we filmed before, these guys really are amazing at driving, and with their driving, the style also progresses. And you know, they're at the kind of cutting edge here of like keeping the whole scene and sport alive. And of course, we have a manual swap there, and I think surely this must be one of the very few Simas in the world with a roll cage. I don't know, you guys tell me. As we look at the Sima, the Z project that they're working on just rolled out. This runs a fully modified L series stroke to 3.1, fully tuned, and as you just saw, it sits on air suspension. Open up the hood so we can see the RB26 swap. You should remember this because we've come across it at various shows with that pink engine bay. And I think, このタービンは何ですか? T8? あ、書いてるね. There you go. HK. Oh, it's a triple K K27 turbo. When I actually photographed this car originally for Speedhunters, it was actually red. Now that I remember. So he's gone for a more mature metallic silver, but he's kept that party look in the engine bay with the metallic pink across the entire engine bay, and of course the cam covers and the inlet manifold. Runs a big single throttle conversion, KKK K27 single external wastegate. It's like the perfect car that represents a person's transition from the wild side into kind of a more sedate way of enjoying cars. And again, N-Style is supporting this kind of transition as they help customers create their own kind of interpretation of the car that they kind of envision in their heads. And again, it's so cool that this thing runs a roll cage. I haven't seen this drift in a while, but it has shifted to become more of a show car than anything. Okay, so the hood is up on the Z, and there's that stroked L series, 3.1 liters, still running carbs for that unmistakable sound, and of course response. Let's see it. Wow, that's literally incredible. Oh my god, these L series really do sound amazing. I really don't understand why people swap engines in these cars. L series is the engine to go for, or rather stick to. Just stroke the thing. So this Roadster is a recent purchase that they just picked up at a very interesting price from Yahoo Auction. And that's obviously because somebody has put it in a wall, maybe attempting to drift, but big crash. They're gonna have a look, they're gonna take it apart and see if they can actually mend it, sort of fix it back and maybe turn it into a drift car, who knows. But this is one way that people kind of think outside the box. They buy crashed cars, try to repair them. As you can see, the shunt has literally kind of put stress across the entire car. On the other side as well, you see all the panel gaps and mismatch. So it was definitely a very big hit. Can they fix it? We shall find out. So in the workshop here, there's a really nice Soarer, getting some work done. Over on this side of the workshop is this BRZ, getting some panel work done here. So many cool things to be looking at in this shop. So another cool project that's upcoming, this time for a customer, is this E70 that has been around for a while. I've shot this car again a couple of times at tracks like Nikko, but so as you can see, the engine bay has been smoothed out and they're actually throwing away the stock engine, which is right here, and replacing it with a 20 valve. So it's going to be a blacktop swapped E70. It's going to be really cool. It's going to get cleaned up, repainted, and I'm sure one we'll be seeing at Nikko or Mobara or other circuits in the future.
センチュリーは、マニュアルに乗せ替えた、公認取った、でエンジンをいじりたい、スロットルもつけたいし、ハイスピードエアサスもつけたい、マフラーも変わったマフラーつけたい、いろいろやりたいですよね。
ミッションは
ミッションは154、1JZ のミッションをドッキングして、いやいや。
なんか毎日使うの車？
使わない。たまに。子供とドライブ行ったり。
Listen to this startup. That does not sound like a Toyota sedan. This is literally like a hypercar startup. So we are basically getting this warmed up, and hopefully the stock air suspension pump starts pumping up the suspension and it starts rising, and then we can take it out. But what a cool thing to be riding in one of these. That'll be the first for me in a Century, but more importantly, a 5-speed manual box swapped Century. This is a Century V12 with the clutch pedal. So as you can see, he's done a really good job of getting rid of the automatic lever and replacing it with a manual shifter. Everything else is factory Century with that digital speedometer there. No rev counter, of course. Who needs to see that? So this car has 76,000 kilometers. And just look at the trim on this. Of course, the back is where you should be sitting in these cars. So next up to do is for me to actually jump in the Century and take it out for a spin. And that's basically doing two things that I've never done before. One is drive a Century, and two, drive a Century with a manual conversion, which to my knowledge might actually be the only one in the world. I don't know, you guys let me know if you've ever heard of anybody else doing that, but let's go and do that. So what an amazing thing to be given the chance to drive this. I'll definitely have to do this like I do with every car. Oh, this is very interesting. There's a clutch in the Century. Tommy shifter. He said basically it's like driving a normal car. It's massively heavy. You really feel it. The shifter position so far away. Wow, that sounds amazing. So he's obviously done like an aftermarket exhaust. So when you get on it, wow. All right, well, I'll leave it here for the drive of the Century. If you want to check out what I got up to driving this car, make sure you check out this episode on the second channel, Only Dino. Okay, so that is N-Style in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed checking out what is a truly grassroots drift shop, body shop that caters to so many styles, but at the same time really helps the whole scene kind of progress. Massive thank you to Nagahama-san for even allowing me to drive the Century. It's been a hell of a day. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you check back soon for more and subscribe. Thank you.